everyone, so today I am here to do another Watchables video. So I did this video a couple months ago and I entitled it Watchables because it is just that. Sharing with you all the things I have watched in these past few months. So yeah, I've actually watched quite a few things in these past 3 months, so let's just jump right on in. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the movies I saw in theaters over the past 3 months, and I've only seen 2. Go to the theaters a lot, I just really don't, especially in the fall. I probably won't go barely at all because of time, but the only 2 movies I saw in these past 3 months are Mamma Mia 2 and Crazy Rich Asians. Mamma Mia 2 I really enjoyed. I will have to tell you that I wasn't the biggest fan of Mamma Mia 1. Like, it was okay. I didn't love it. Overall, I was very surprised. I really love Lily Jane's performance and how it was different that we delved into Donna's life of how she met all of these 3 guys and things like that. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It's not one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's just a feel-good movie that you will watch if you're not feeling well or you're just in a rut. I always would recommend movies like that. So I gave it like a 3.5. It was a solid one. It's not one of my favorites, but it made me smile and it made me listen to ABBA for like a week straight, so I call that a win. The one, like I said, I saw in theaters was Crazy Rich Asians. This was based off the book, and I have not read the book, and I don't plan to because I just see the reviews very staggering, and overall it seems to be like a really intense family drama, and sometimes I like those books, sometimes I don't, but so I can't say as far as a book to movie adaptation, if you want my opinion of how it did, I don't know. As for a movie standpoint, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing. It was cute, it was funny, it was witty, it was very romantic, holy crap romantic. And also talked about so many different things, the Asian American culture, and I had great diversity. I thought it did so well, and I think it did really well in the box office as well, so I know there's going to be a sequel, so I'm very excited for it. I loved it. I mean, my favorite scene, I think everyone's favorite scene in the whole movie is the wedding. I'm not gonna tell you whose wedding. There is a wedding in it because that's what the whole freaking movie's about, is a wedding. But the scene with the wedding, I teared up because good lord, what do I love? I love love, and it was so romantic, so beautiful. It made my romantic heart go into a puddle, just go into a gooey mushy puddle, and I adored it. So would highly recommend this movie. I thought it was just phenomenal. I can't gush about it enough because I thought it just did so well. Like a 4.5 out of 5. Really loved it. And for the rest of things I've watched, it was all Netflix, because what are we if not Netflix bingers? Am I right? So I watched a good amount of movies on Netflix, and I watched one show. So I'll start with the movies. So the first movie I watched on Netflix was the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Society. This was based on a book which I have read. I do have its own video review talking about the book and the movie adaptation, so I will link you to it right here. So I'm not going to talk much about it. Let's just say I did enjoy the movie more than the book, which is very rare for me. Usually I'm always like book before movie, but this was one that I liked the book, I just didn't love it, but I thought the movie was better. Now, not to say it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of the movies I think I've watched it once, and that's all I'm gonna watch of it. That's not to say it's bad at all. It's just one of those kind of one and done movies for me. It's a historical movie about like kind of after World War II, and we follow a character named Juliet, who's a writer, and then she starts writing to a guy named Ozzy that lives in the island of Guernsey, which is kind of on the English Channel, and they start conversing, and things happen from there. It's just kind of a historical romance. It's really cute, adorable, and yeah, I gave it like the movie I'd give 3.5, maybe 3.75 out of 5. It was enjoyable. Not one of my favorites of all time, but I still liked it, and I thought it was a good adaptation. So yeah, see my review for more details. I watched Like Father. This is another, I think all of the Netflix movies I've watched were Netflix originals because they are just blowing them out of the park these days. Like Father stars Kristen Bell and Kelsey Grammer, aka Frasier, and basically Kristen Bell's about to get married, and then her husband kind of leaves her at the altar, and somehow she gets to reminiscing with her father, who she never has seen since she was like 2, and they get drunk and they accidentally go on the cruise that was supposed to be her honeymoon. So basically this movie is all about an estranged relationship between a father and daughter stuck on a Royal Caribbean cruise. It's a product placement movie, that's for sure, but did it work? Yes, it did. I want to go on like 50 cruises now, but I really enjoyed this movie. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it, because sometimes with Netflix movies, they're either a huge huge hit or they are a huge miss. So I wasn't sure where I was going to fare I wasn't sure where I was going to fare at in this movie, and I really enjoyed it. It's a grittier one, and it talks a lot, you know, about a father and daughter relationship that just has not really progressed. It's very estranged, and by the end of it, it just makes you feel hopeful and it makes you feel happy. And overall, I really enjoyed it and would recommend it. It's definitely one of those family drama movies that would just get you in all of the feels. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. Highly recommend it. I don't know if I'd watch it again because it is kind of sad, but if I watch it again, it's also going to make me like want to buy a cruise, like go on one immediately. So I don't know. Netflix movie I watched was perhaps my favorite of all the Netflix movies I've ever seen, and that is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. This is another book to movie adaptation, which Netflix is killing it with their originals and with their book to movie adaptations. Like, there's so many out these days and I love it. So if you don't know, To All the Boys I've Loved Before is a YA book series that I adore. Have read it years ago, and it's finally a movie, and I adored this movie so much. It is one of my favorite book to movie adaptations of all time. Like, the casting was perfect, the way the cinematography was perfect, the soundtrack was perfect. It was just all so freaking adorable. I know the plot of this movie or book. It's about a character named Laura Jean, who's an Asian American, which I'm so happy about again for diversity. And she has all these crushes, and she basically writes all of her crushes these letters, and she never mails them out. She like addresses them and everything, puts them in a shoebox, puts them under her bed. Then she comes home one day and all of the letters have been mailed out, and ramifications start happening from that. And enter in Peter Kavinsky, one of the guys who was given a letter to. And it's just an adorable movie. I mean, I think everyone has fallen in love with, I don't know, Noah C. I don't remember his last name because I just remember Noah because that's my kid's name. But I thought he was an amazing Peter. He's like a freaking mini Mark Ruffalo. I love it. It's an adorable movie that I have already found myself watching multiple times because it's just a mushy, gushy, romantic movie that I just cannot get enough of. Like, if you're wondering, the movies I just binge over and over again, it's just a crap ton of chick flicks, and I'm okay with that. So 5 out of 5. I do have a video talking all about this movie as well, so you can click right there to see more of it. I adored this movie to pieces. Another Netflix original movie I've watched is called Candy Jar. This one's kind of an older one. I think it came out a few months ago, and somehow it went under my radar. I think because mainly there are so many Netflix originals that come out every single month. It is impossible to keep up with, and it's also impossible to navigate in the world of Netflix. Like, you could just get freaking lost in there, and it's just, you know, it's hard to discern what you want to watch and what you don't want to watch. But somehow I found Candy Jar. I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to check this out, and so I watched it. Candy Jar is about 2 teenagers that are in high school, and they are on the debate team, and they are both very, very passionate about debate and both passionate about getting into college. And they are also nemesis, and basically what happens is they have to work together, and you can guess what happens from there. But I really enjoyed this one. This is a quintessential indie movie in my opinion. It's one that I don't think a lot of people will see, but I really enjoyed it. Both of these characters are very strong, very independent, knew what they wanted, and they went after it with vigor. So I love their passion for education. I love that they were constantly debating. If you love high school debate things, watch this movie because you're gonna get a crap ton of debate talk. But I really enjoyed it. It's like a classic indie movie for me. Like, it's a kind of under the radar movie, which I really, really enjoyed those. So I give this one a 4 out of 5. Would highly recommend. I could see myself watching this multiple times as well, just because I really enjoyed it overall. And the last Netflix original movie I watched was probably my least favorite, and that is Sierra Burgess, I don't know, is a loser. This one I was very excited for when it was coming out. Like, it was getting hyped up constantly because it starred Barb from Stranger Things and Noah from To All the Boys I've Loved Before, Peter Kavinsky. And I thought, oh, this is going to be so amazing. I cannot wait to check it out. And overall, it was a letdown. This movie has sparked a lot of controversy, honestly, like, because of all of the really kind of wrong and weird stuff there is. So if you don't know what this movie is about, we follow Sierra, who is Barb, and she is an overweight teenager in high school, and she's kind of struggling to fit in, and she kind of really butts heads with this popular girl. I don't remember her name. Let's just call it Popular Girl. And basically, long story short, is Popular Girl gives out Sierra's phone number to Noah / Peter Kavinsky, thinking that he thinks that he's really getting Popular Girl's number, but instead he gets Sierra's number. I hope that made sense. I am horrible at explaining things. I apologize. But either way, so let's just say a text conversation happens. Barb Sierra gets on her phone one day to see a weird person has texted her. She's like, who the heck are you? And he's like, oh hey, it's me, Peter Kavinsky. I don't know his name. And you're a popular girl, right? And she's like, oh. Basically, he was given the wrong number. So instead of like being like, no, this ain't her. This is, you know, this is Sierra Burgess. She decides to go on with this catfish charade, which is not that great already. I mean, who would want to start a relationship on a big lie like that? Not me, but it gets worse. So they start a text relationship, and somehow popular girl is dating another guy, and the guy wants to break up with her because she's not intellectual enough. And so Sierra's like, I can help you to be smart, and you help me with this fake relationship with this guy you gave me his phone, with this guy you gave my phone number to. So a kind of weird friendship happens with that, and it gets weirder. So eventually, like, stuff happens where they like fake going on a date, and then like a kiss happens that's not consensual, and it's just the end. Everything about this movie was just cringeworthy, I'd say. Like the kiss part especially, I was like, no, I don't know who would find this romantic in the slightest. And the ending was cringeworthy. Basically, this movie just says that catfishing is okay. It says that, you know, bullying is okay, and also this friendship that I thought would steal the movie. I thought that would be the highlight of the movie, this friendship that these two girls that hated each other and were bullying each other, like they were mean to each other, the popular girl one more so. I thought they would become friends and really like connect with each other, and that would be the relationship of the movie. Like that would be the friendship. Who cares about the guy? No, it's like kind of a falsified friendship. Like nothing comes of it. Basically a betrayal happens at the end of the movie. Nobody like apologized. Somebody doesn't apologize when they clearly should, and like everything just wraps up in a nice bow, and I'm like, what? Like I don't mind things wrapping up in a nice bow, but let's talk about it first. Nope, all just glazed over. It's okay. It's because Sierra, it's infuriating, honestly. I didn't love this movie. I loved the feel of it. The cinematography was great. I thought the acting was okay, but just the catfishing, the fake friendship, the overall ending was just, ugh, not that great. So I don't know. I give it like maybe 3 out of 5. It's not what I'm gonna watch again. It's just not. The last Netflix thing I watched was the new season of the Great British Baking Show. So if you don't know what the Great British Baking Show is, I apologize. You need it in your life. Trust me, you do. If you think you don't, you do. Everyone needs it in their life. I stumbled across this show last year when everyone on Twitter was talking about it, and I was like, ugh, I'm not into cooking shows. I watched Top Chef a while ago, and I watched Hell's Kitchen. It's just all too competitive, and people are just petty and just mean and just, that's why I don't watch a lot of reality TV, because I don't want that in my life. But everyone was telling the Great British Baking Show is totally different. And they were right. The Great British Baking Show is a competitive show, but the people in it are so rooting for each other. They will help out each other. They will just do whatever they can to like be nice. And I'm like, this is the show I signed up for. So it's all about 12 amateur bakers that live in Britain, and they compete each week, and they bake different things. Each week is a different thing. Cake, French week, Swiss rolls. What more do you want? And one person gets eliminated one week, and one person gets star baker, and it's just a freaking amazing show. It is the show to binge if you are in a bad mood. If you just are just kind of down and just not happy, watch the show and it'll cheer you right up. It's so comforting. That's the main thing about this show. It is comforting. It's adorable. It's gonna want to make you eat all of the baked things, like all of them. But overall, it's just an amazing show. So just trust me, if you're not into cooking shows, watch it. If you're not into competitive shows, watch it. If you're just into any shows, just watch it. It's amazing. This new season's different because it doesn't have 3 people that we normally see. We don't have Judge Mary Berry, which I was very sad about, and we don't have host Mel and Sue, which I was also very sad about. Overall, I thought the new season was good. It wasn't great because of those key elements. I will say I missed Mel and Sue more than I missed Mary Berry because I loved their energy and the way they would converse with the bakers. I don't think the new hosts were horrible. In fact, one of the hosts is actually on a show I love called The IT Crowd, but I didn't love them because I loved Mel and Sue so much and I was so used to them, and I don't know. But either way, am I gonna give this season a 5 out of 5? Yes, I will, because I love the show and I can't not watch it. I've already started rewatching it because of the new season. I'm not mad about it in the slightest. Those are the things I've been watching these past 3 months, and yeah, I can't wait to film another one of these at the end of the year and talk to you guys about what I'm planning to watch for the rest of the year. The only thing I know for sure is Sabrina coming out on Netflix. Oh, so excited for that. Other than that, we shall see what I will watch these next 3 months. If you enjoyed this video and like me talking about movies and TV shows, let me know. I will see you guys later. Bye.